told you that the secret to a healthier you isn't just about what you're putting on your plate? I want to spill the beans on how your mindset is setting the stage for the wellness that you get to have. I'm your favorite balanced body guide, Kristin Wood, and those thoughts that are swirling in your beautiful mind are what we're going to look at today. You'll get to decide what thoughts are helping you and which ones are dragging you down. And if you're one of the many that needs some help with the guidance to stop the forever stuck replay loop that goes on in your mind, I'm here for you. Ready to have a conversation with you to show you how support can supercharge your wellness goals. So today let's imagine. Let me ask you this first. Have you ever caught yourself reaching for a bag of chips or a sugary treat when stress hits? Look, we've all done it. And maybe for you, it wasn't chips or sweets, but you've got your crutch or your habit. So why is it that when we need emotional support, so often we turn to food, when food can only be the solution if hunger is the problem? So let's talk about these emotional crutches that are standing in the way of your health goals. We live life by a set of guidelines that we created often as a young child. We either saw or heard something that was like voodoo magic, and that day, that was the thing that stuck as the solution to the problem. The big issue is that as a kid, you weren't looking to solve a problem consciously. It just was there. That's just what got wired in as a guideline. So picture this. At grandma's house, did you have this glistening jar of candy that all you had to do was give her a hug and the candy was all yours? For me, that's where a connection began between having love, being wanted, and candy. And maybe for you it wasn't a candy jar, but what is your thing? What is that memory, that connection that was formed as kids? Because these connections happen and they stick like glue, steering us towards food when it isn't what our body truly needs. And if you're like me and you have that kind of connection, it's no surprise that when you're frustrated at work, when you're upset about something that happened at home, when you're worried about a bill that's coming up, you may find yourself in front of the vending machine or at the candy aisle at the Quick Trip. And it might not be uncommon that making that choice doesn't fit with the health plan that you just said you were going to follow. And when you cave, your mindset starts railing on you about how weak you are. You have no willpower. You always cave. This is you fighting for your limitations, reinforcing that this crutch or habit, the guideline that you've established is one that you want to live by, when honestly that guideline is the last thing that you really want to follow. I would like to see you start fighting for the limitless version of you. Sure, you may not know what this version looks like. You may not have met her, but she's in there. And you are so much more than those old connections that you've formed in your mind. And today, you may not feel like your crutch or your habit is something that you can do without, but you are capable. You are capable of creating new guidelines, rewriting your stories, having guidelines that are full of empowered choices. You can decide that you are the kind of person who addresses your problems by whatever means that you choose that isn't food. You can decide that you are the type of person who takes a couple minutes pause before you reach for the food. You notice why you're reaching for it. Are you hungry, or is it a feeling? And if it's a feeling, even if it's uncomfortable, you can feel it. And then you can choose to take a different action. And sure, you may fail a few times, but if you continue for this limitless version of you, the one that takes the pause, after a while, your mind will get on board and realize there's a new guideline in town. And this is just now what you do. And just like everything in life that we do for the first time, there's some fear. So that's not any different when it comes to your thoughts and your habits. If it's new, there's going to be fear. But when you're fighting for a limitation that is making you sick, that's keeping you overweight, that's keeping you on the sidelines of life, the very act of thinking the new thought, that is you creating a new guideline. That's you practicing towards letting that limitation go. You know, to be better in any sport you practice, and it's no different with thoughts. You get to have the thought over and over, even if it's after the fact. Getting your mind used to having this thought. You can even visualize yourself acting out the thought. If you've ever felt like you are just going in circles with wellness programs and pills and products, then I've got a hunch that it's time for a mindset upgrade. Time for you to change your beliefs about the behavior. And it's through changing these assumptions and attitudes about the belief where true change gets to stick. Look, you can micromanage your plate all you want to, but without mindset, your results will continue to be all over the place because unwanted habits keep coming back. My Body Bliss Blueprint is the perfect first step into mindset, and it's the perfect way to reignite your mindset. If you feel like you've been fighting for your limitations long enough, you're going to love this blueprint. You'll find a link in the video description below to download your copy today. And don't just download it, put it into action. And then continue to show up for my weekly Keep It Super Simple videos. Click the notification bell so you get reminders each week. And whether you're ready to rock each tip in each week's KISS on your own, or you want personalized guidance, I've got your back. I help clients get clear on their mindset, clear on the how actions, and give them the motivation they need to reach the wellness goals that they desire. And I can help you too. I've also had feedback from ladies who just do the tips, just show up for the Kiss from Kristin each week and implement consistency, and they see progress without one-on-one. But if you need support to follow through or to come up with the best form of action, I'm happy to talk to you about what one-on-one support could look like for you. You don't have to go it alone. You weren't designed to go it alone. And the Body Bliss Blueprint is an excellent first step. Get your copy today, and I will see you next week in another Kiss from Kristin.